Well, going up also.
When we bought this chateau in the Brittany countryside, we also inherited what amounts to a small village of barns and cottages. Today we're opening up parts of the estate we rarely show. We'll look at what these buildings were originally used for and whether any of our plans for them are still remotely realistic. Some are empty, some have become storage. Some of them are filled with things we apparently plan to deal with later. Right now, France is experiencing extreme heat, drought conditions, and forest fires. Thankfully, the fires aren't close to us and we're safe, but it's so heartbreaking to see the damage they've caused. It's incredibly dry here with no rain in sight, so we're being especially careful. So naturally, we've chosen this moment to spend the day moving heavy objects around inside of a barn. So today my job is to clear all this wood. We need to completely reconfigure this space, this barn, so the tractor fits in, because right now you can see the flail just sticks out. And that is a carriage. Got it?
These are brakes. See? Here.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
And they're attached to a rod, and I was assuming that it was attached to this thing on the floor, but I don't see any cable attached. So maybe that just broke off or something.
Yeah. It?
Well, this here. This,
Oh, okay. So it's
pole.
it looks like
Oh, it's related to this. Okay. Oh, it's like a parking brake.
So you sit here, there was probably a back. So it's interesting, it's a right-hand drive.
Yeah, and this looks like it would be, maybe it's just a footrest, I don't know, but it seems odd.
But why is it a right-hand drive?
Most things were right-hand drive at the beginning.
So what happened?
Race cars were all right-hand drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never really thought about the evolution of how you decide which side of the road you drive on, and this is original to the chateau. I mean, we don't know how old it is.
I remember they said that the count that lived here used to take this with, I don't know if it was a horse or a donkey, and go over to the next town for lunch. And that was probably, he died in the early 70s, so he was probably doing it back then too.
Yeah, I'm sure. That was the original family who built
He was like the
chateau.
third or fourth generation.
Yeah. But this is just like a hard rubber, huh?
Yeah, that's rubber.
And before you get any ideas, we've spoken to the donkeys and they want no part in dragging a carriage around. These buildings predate the current chateau by several hundred years and once belonged to an earlier chateau that stood here. This map from 1841 shows where the old chateau once stood. And inside of the circle, you can also see several buildings that no longer exist. We have no idea what happened to them. For all we know, their foundations may still be buried beneath the grass and the soil. I think this is part of an old bed because it's got casters on the bottom.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, see the old casters?
Built in.
Yep. They still work, so
Wow.
it might be nice to salvage these pieces just for architectural details if they're any good. I think maybe some of them are a little rotten, but I always like to save that kind of stuff if it's in good shape. But these look too far gone, maybe. That's a tiny bed, though. We have a tiny bed up in this cottage bedroom. There are a couple up there, and they look.
It's like this one.
They look kind of creepy.
That's a single. That's what a single bed was. It was like this one.
And I think there's a child's bed up there, but I'm not sure. We had to give each building a name, and some are based on their original purpose, but others are based on whatever happened to be inside them. Now, our naming system is neither historical or sophisticated, but we do know which building when we mean. So we do have plans for this barn. At some point, this roof does need to be replaced because it's these terracotta ones, and they're not very common in this area, so it was interesting that it was used. Maybe it was just something cheaper they put on. The opposite side of the barn has a brand new slate roof. So at some point, the idea is for us to use this entire barn as just a big open space with doors here to go to the orchard. Obviously, we'll take down this wall, so this will become one giant space. So doors here as well. And then currently this side is where we have all of our wood. But if you could just imagine this with a couple more sets of doors out to the orchard, get that wall down, just something incredibly bright. And I was even thinking we can refurbish the carriage and just sort of put it in here as like an art piece of sorts. So I just picture a big table in here and sort of an extension, if we have a pool, act as a casual pool house and sort of place where you can come and eat. And then there's our little cottage. Okay, I'll admit it. It looks pretty creepy up here, and one would expect the soundtrack to go with it to sound something like this. But to us, it doesn't feel creepy. It's more like a strange time capsule. This is a huge project, but we want to get to it before the whole thing deteriorates to the point where
It's dry in here, though.
It is dry. This is granite because this sticks out.
You can see them on the outside.
On the outside, so that's been painted. Well, there's some coating up here. It looks like someone put rendering over the stone or something. I don't know.
Maybe it was falling apart.
We need to, yeah, probably. So much fun coming down these steps. We call this the Filbert Building. Before Enzo came along, we adopted a shelter dog to keep Guava company, and this is where he slept. Unfortunately, nobody told us that he'd been badly abused by a group of teenagers, and he eventually bit one of our daughters. We tried to get him help, but he needed a quieter home with just one person. He was eventually adopted, although I think we'll always feel a little guilty for letting him go. Those of you who have been watching from the beginning may remember our cottage project, which we started and stopped several times for a variety of increasingly complicated and expensive reasons. When we opened up the ceiling, we discovered rotten beams, and the project quickly became much larger than we'd expected. We believe the cottage was renovated some, probably around the time the current chateau was built, and we think that was around 1850. And it remained the caretaker's cottage until the 1980s. Our plan was to install a temporary kitchen here while we renovated the main chateau kitchen. Looking back, we may have been a little naive.
So a lot of people were asking, like, what actually happened to the cottage project?
You know, the original plan was to shore up the building because it had all the water leaking in. So we had to dig down all around the foundation.
We started this entire cottage project because we were thinking, well, my mom might come over, it might be nice for her. Plus, we wanted to start our kitchen renovation. Right. And we thought, since there was sort of a kitchen already here, we could just do this first.
Right.
The project turned into something much larger than we had anticipated. And in turn, we ended up hiring somebody to assist us to do all that.
I mean, they were things that we knew needed to be done, but we weren't certain we were going to do all those things at the same time. We were thinking the kitchen first, but that was probably kind of short-sighted just because, you know, there would have been stuff falling in the food and whatever. We had gotten to the point where we had shored the building up. We did the drains so that the water wasn't seeping in, replaced the beams and the floor. So this is all good. This is the second floor. Then I found some information that seemed to tell us that these were historical in some aspect, maybe protected. I got beams, plus the beams that go on top of the main beams, plus the lintels. They're all oak, and they're sized the same as the original one.
Yeah.
So that's like for like. Whatever.
We wouldn't have a problem.
But this, maybe we'd have to put actual tongue and groove wood on it, like was there before. We were even talking about putting
skylights.
Velux skylights.
Yeah.
And now that we know what we know, if there's any historical thing, that they wouldn't really want skylights in there. They'd want us to put dormers in, just like all the, you know, the cottages all have dormers.
The person that we hired, we had felt pressured to speed up the process and hurry. You got to make a decision. Hurry. And we needed to take a step back and say, well, why are we hurrying?
We don't need to hurry.
We don't need to hurry. We want to make the right decisions. And I know a lot of you out there were disappointed that we stopped the project and why are they taking so long? We didn't want to put in some garish skylights or do things in a half-assed way.
Doing nothing is better than doing the wrong thing because you can't undo it usually.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, you cut a hole in the roof and, you know.
So if this is deemed a historical building, there are certain people that we need to hire.
Right, you're supposed to hire artisans. Leave it. We decided against doing the kitchen here, and we did the temporary kitchen in our dining room.
That made much more sense because I could not picture coming out in the rain and the cold weather and you know. Obviously, we're going to be revisiting this because it's a beautiful building, and I think our plan is to finish this ourselves and then probably the larger house have somebody do. I think we're going to have to hire a team in that building because it's just far too much work for us. We'll never get it done.
Yeah.
So we're kind of thinking maybe after the kitchen, step back into this once we get more information on the historical status. Someday this will be a really cute little guest cottage.
Yeah.
So I think we underestimated how much work this was. So I think we both realize this is more than an afternoon's job.
Oh, it's a big job, yeah.
Yeah, I totally underestimated it. I was like, yeah, I can go in here and do this in an afternoon, and then and then you got too hot out there, so you're helping me in here.
I call this the tall building, which makes absolutely no sense because it's the same height as the building opposite of it. I suppose it just looks tall to me. It's one of my favorite buildings on the property and also a bit of a mystery. The windows were blocked up at some point, and we suspect it may once have been the guardhouse for the old chateau.
Over here, you can see there's a wall, beautiful old wall. Everything is a mess. And there's another wall beyond here. There is another wall that goes around here. So this was another structure building. We're not sure. But this is an area where they used to keep animals, obviously, with these beautiful stone troughs. I mean, these are just gorgeous. If you try to buy these now, they're incredibly expensive. But these are actually cemented into the side of the this outbuilding. And someone had created a cinder block wall. I guess they were keeping animals separate. And then there's a cool trough actually built into this little window with a lintel on top, which is not in the best condition. So this building is pretty old. And you can see over here, there used to be a bigger window, obviously. And at some point, we'll open all this up. So there's this cute little doorway here. And this is just the other side of where we just were. So we have plenty of outbuildings. It's just trying to decide what we do with them all once we're ready.
So what's with all this?
It's Fashion Week.
In Brittany.
Paris was booked.
Today's video is sponsored by Halara, who sent me some clothes to try. And I'm not going to lie, I was really skeptical. But after wearing them for a few days, I was genuinely surprised. The clothes are super soft and they have plenty of stretch without losing their shape. And they're comfortable enough for gardening, walking the cats, or moving gravel. One thing I noticed right away is that the fabric is breathable and, most importantly, not see-through. And there are loads of colors and styles to choose from, with sizes from extra small to 4X. Halara makes everything from activewear to everyday clothes, and the prices are reasonable without compromising on quality. And I'm sure you're asking, what about the pockets? Because women are usually given enough room for one grape. But I'm impressed. These can hold my most important items. So tell us which outfit was your favorite in the comments, and if you'd like to try any of them yourself, use our code FRENCH20. You'll find all the product links in the description below. Lincoln, that's my sweater.
It's mine now.
We call this the pump house because it holds the pump for the well. And right now we don't have any real plans for this building since it does such a good job of holding certain tools and more old cider barrels. This little building has so much character and it makes me happy whenever I walk by it.
We have a couple of these in the garden, but this is probably from an old greenhouse that existed on the land at one point.
Well, it could have been like cold frames, right?
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, maybe in the walled garden they had a bunch of cold frames. Certainly, yeah. But these are worth keeping, definitely. Some old barrel hoops. Is that what that is? Yeah, hoops for a barrel. Are you going to take up barrel making, maybe, in your spare time?
Put it in here.
What?
I'm just trying to mansplain for you.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Mansplain. I get enough of that in our comments. And then neither of us knew that there was a big pile of dirt sitting here because the wood took up this entire space. So it was kind of hiding the fact that there was a mound of soil there. So I think we'll just put it in the trailer and then dump it.
Right now, the stables are mainly used for storage. This is where we park my mom's TR6, feed some of the feral cats, and we're currently storing the cabinets we've removed from our kitchen hallway. So it's really hard to tell the size of these doors. So this is just the top portion.
I'm 6'5", right?
Yeah, you're super tall. So that was the top portion.
When is the last time you think this barn was cleaned?
Probably
30 years?
maybe even longer.
Oh, wait, we're on the...
Now the tractor looks so tiny in here, but everything fits. Space is just opened up. It might not look like much to you guys, but this makes us very happy. So my reward is a peach from the peach tree. Lincoln doesn't eat peaches. They cause him an allergic reaction. So we don't want his throat to close up, do we? Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have something to say, leave us a comment.